Привет, Internet, and welcome, dear viewer. This channel is dedicated to creepy content from the Russian-speaking post-Soviet internet space. I hope you enjoy these stories, some possibly fictional, while others are absolutely true. Let's get started. This story happened to me about a year ago. Next to my bed, there's a desk, and inside it, I always keep a rechargeable flashlight. About once a month, I recharge it so that it always works properly and doesn't die on me at the worst possible moment. Also, near the bed, there's a wardrobe, and next to it, a chair. I usually leave my clothes on that chair and rarely move it away from the wardrobe. There's nothing in the wardrobe that I wear regularly. I also have a cat. So, one evening, I was sitting at the computer with her on my lap, as usual. Suddenly she jumped up and ran off somewhere. A little while later, I heard her growling behind me. Turning around, I saw her quickly turning her head, as if she was watching some invisible bird, and backing up, growling at this invisible bird. Then she fixed her gaze on my bed and, still growling, cautiously approached it. She immediately jumped back, and over the next 10 minutes, this whole scene repeated a couple more times. I was seriously scared. I picked up the cat, trying to calm her down, but she kept staring behind me, and then suddenly swiped her paw aggressively through the air, somewhere around my shoulder. It was terrifying, and my hair stood on end. For about 20 more minutes, she continued growling at the bed, so I took my camera, set it up on the desk, configured it for 100 continuous shots, and waited. When the camera finished, I inserted the memory card into the computer and started reviewing the results. About 90 of the photos were normal, just my carpet and nothing else. Yes, I have a carpet hanging on the wall, but in the last 10 photos there was some kind of white spot, like a glare or a film defect. Although my camera is digital, it moved chaotically from one corner to the other, from top to bottom. I can't show the photos because they might reveal my identity. However, this didn't scare me. After all, there was no monster in the photos, just a simple, white, almost transparent spot. That same night when I went to bed and was just starting to doze off, I heard a scraping sound coming from the wardrobe, as if from inside. It was very quiet, but I could make it out in the silence of the night. Again, it didn't scare me. The house is old, the furniture is ancient, and there are often creaks behind the walls and in the radiators, so a little scraping from the wardrobe didn't frighten me. There was another scratch. That's when I grabbed the flashlight. I pointed it at the wardrobe, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. I was about to turn it off and go back to sleep when I noticed my cat. She had been lying on the bed with me all this time, and I thought she had been sleeping. But no. I thought animals were hard to scare with something they couldn't see. Her pupils were wildly dilated, her ears flattened, and it seemed to me that she was even trembling slightly. I decided to pet her gently, and the moment I touched her, she jumped and hissed. Then she immediately started looking around, as if not understanding where she was. I was already terrified. The scraping sound from the wardrobe came again. At the same time, the door began to hit against the chair with my clothes, which luckily kept it from opening. I shone the flashlight into the door gap and saw something or someone thrashing around inside the wardrobe. Some kind of shadow kept darting back and forth in the opening. It seemed like something was wearing some of the clothes from the wardrobe. I thought I saw a piece of my own t-shirt, which I hadn't worn in ages. I froze. I was thinking about how to quickly turn on all the lights, and just as I was planning, the flashlight flickered and went out. And I had charged it that very day, But at the same time, all the movement in the wardrobe stopped. I pulled the blanket over my head and somehow managed to fall asleep, closer to dawn. Strangely enough, everything was quiet the next day. I checked the wardrobe, nothing there, though maybe the clothes had been rummaged through, but I wouldn't have noticed since I already keep them in a messy state. So, that's what happened. I'll tell you a story that happened to me one spring evening. It was around midnight. I was sitting at the computer, browsing a forum, and was just about to go to bed when an awful, loud creak came from outside. Guess what it was? It was the children's swing across the road. There it is again. It's been going on for 2 weeks now. Sometimes I wonder, who is swinging at that hour? I've seen the playground. Those swings are for very young children. An adult wouldn't even fit. There's nowhere to put your legs. Could someone really be bringing their child to play at midnight? Well, okay, maybe it's a busy parent trying to spend time with their kid. Sure, for 5 or 10 minutes. But sometimes it goes on for hours into the night. Suddenly I heard a window slam shut from the floor above, and the rough voice of Alexich, a former Special Forces officer, cursed loudly, asking the unknown parent what exactly their child needed on the swings at this hour and where they had ever seen such nighttime walks. The creaking stopped, but after a few minutes it started again, sounding even more obnoxious and eerie. I could almost swear I heard hysterical laughter in the noise. There was some muttering from upstairs, then the front door slammed, and I heard loud footsteps on the stairs. Apparently Alexis wasn't too happy about the situation. Maybe he'll call the police, I thought. There is a child involved, after all. However, after hesitating for a couple of minutes, I decided not to get involved and went to bed. By then, the creaking had already stopped. So what, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you this. Never try to find out who's swinging on the playground when night falls, honestly. Because in the morning, they found Alexich on those same swings, dead and completely gray. The doctor said it was heart failure. The swings don't creak anymore, but for many years, all the residents in our courtyard have kept their windows tightly shut as soon as dusk begins to fall over the city, and they try not to come home too late.